Hi you guys, my name is Ava Death Tarot and this is my very first official tarot reading. I guess you can tell from my nails. This is a very last minute decision. I did not have work today, so I decided, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to take this time. There we go. I'm going to take this time and I'm going to just read for you guys. Now, this is my very first tarot reading video. And this channel was, though it's supposed to be a hobbyist channel, it was done very last minute. So we will get better over time. I'm going to treat everything like I'm Bob Ross, and we're going to have a wonderful reading group. Pick aesthetic. Pair of rocks, pick a rock, pick a shell, pick a card, pick something. You have three choices to do so. Here, and unfortunately I can't explain this rock, but I did find it on the beach. A lot of these rocks I found either on the beach or as I was walking home somewhere. So I know that they do have intuitive value, at least to me. I just don't know exactly what the rocks are, unfortunately. If you do know, don't be afraid to let me know in the comments. But there's group one, the shell and the rock. We have pyrite, and we do have more of a clearer crystal here. I don't know if you guys can see from this angle, but we do have that here. And this is for our second group. I do know pyrite does have properties to it, very magical properties to it. Pyrite, I believe, don't quote me, but I believe pyrite off the bat does help with cleansing energy. I think pyrite cleanses, especially when it comes to getting off negative energies. And I think I believe it's a stone you use for crown chakra work, work where you're trying to block off any negativities. I could be wrong though, don't quote me. This next video is going to be a lot more planned, but I did just want to hop on the opportunity because I never get, today off, and I was so excited. But here goes our last group, which we have a couple of rocks. This rock reminds me of quartz. I don't know if that's what that is. I don't feel comfortable saying that with confidence. So these are pretty rocks. Enjoy your pretty rocks. But all three of these I have collected on the beach, and I will say that all of them stood out to me, and each one I knew I had to take home with me. So if that resonates with you, I did notice we have just basically major arcana for each of the selections. I did not do that on purpose, but we do have the Hermit, the Awakening, and the Temperance. So yeah, with that, take your time. Feel free to pause the video, and I'll get started with group one. Hi group one, how are you? This is Ava Death Tarot. Again, my name is Ava. You are group one, and we will be using the Chris and the Muse Tarot. If you have been watching tarot decks readings for a while, your reader most definitely might have these. This was my first official tarot deck that I bought for myself, and this is kind of my my predominant deck, you could say. I did have another tarot deck that was gifted to me, but I did have to throw it away, sadly. So with that said, we do have this deck. It is an absolutely beautiful deck. I had to first break in the cards. I had to work my energy in, of course, but they've been really just helpful regardless of that fact. And with these cards, I've also learned that everything is just a matter of patience and taking your time. So I definitely recommend these cards if you'd like. But as you can see, I'm already starting to kind of work in your cards here. So I am just going to ask for kind of a general tarot reading at first. I'll ask for, let's say 3 more cards. I'll ask for 6 cards total, and in those 6 cards you can decide if the situation resonates with you, and if it does, then great, this is the right group for you. If it doesn't, then that's okay. There's 2 other groups that you can discern whether is the right choice for you. However, if you find that neither of the groups or none of the groups actually fit you, that's okay as well. There will always be more readings. But then also, I also find that it's sometimes tricky where if the situation doesn't necessarily fit what I'm going through, then there's scattered messages in between each group. So if you really would like to watch this reading and you really want to have some messages, I would watch each one and just take what resonates and ignore the rest if you're really adamant. But I really appreciate you being. So if that's the case, then let's continue to get some more cards for you. So we have that for materials. Okay. So I'm asking Spirit, what is... I didn't explain this reading at all. For those who were interested in knowing, this is a Valentine's Day reading. Today is Sunday, February 13th, and I thought it would be fun to get some insight as to your Valentine's Day tomorrow, just to hear about what might happen or what's going to be happening for you tomorrow. It might not be anything, or let me not say significant. Everything is always significant. It might not be something what we'd prefer to call big in our 3D world. Like you might not get, you know, a big grand gesture of flowers and cards and stuff. But it's always just helpful to see what's going to happen for tomorrow. I know tomorrow can be a rough day for everybody who isn't dating at the moment. But as I was growing up, that holiday for me was always about family. My mom was always my Valentine, and we passed candy between one another and all my siblings and things. So I'm not taking all of those. But yeah, so I hope you do have a wonderful Valentine's Day tomorrow, and I hope that whatever you do, whether if it's by yourself or with, you know, loved ones, I hope you have a fun and safe holiday. I'm going to get one more card. Only one, please. I'm still working on my my shuffling. I don't know if some of you are like, damn. But it does need some work. Yeah, it does need some work. And that's okay. Again, I'm treating myself and I'm treating you guys as if I were wow. Okay, I'm going to take that card because it refused to go in with the others. Okay, so I'm going to stop us there. All right. Okay, I'm going to put the cards over here and I'm going to make sure our orientation isn't too distracting. I know that tends to be something that distracts me in readings just a little bit, and it tends to also distract the readers that I watch. We all can't help it. So I'm going to check real quick to make sure I like the setup of your cards. Here we go. It's a little uneven, but I'm not going to take too much time to focus on it because group one, if I did, we would be here all day. But that looks pretty good. Okay, so just looking into your energy, I will grab the book just in case if I need it. I am learning to be more confident with my intuition myself, so that's why I'm definitely emphasizing that this is a hobbyist channel and to not take anything you hear too seriously. This is just something for entertainment purposes. But yes, we are asking today how your Valentine's Day is going to go, because Valentine's Day is tomorrow, and that's something I forgot to mention in the intro of your reading. So I am reading for how your Valentine's Day is going to go tomorrow. But the first thing I did want to start with that you have the Hermit energy. Now that is a card with my energy, or more of Virgo energy. I am Virgo Sun, Libra Moon, Pisces Ascendant, traditionally. But this gives me the energy of maybe you're kind of going through what I'm going through now, when it's a matter of introspection. It kind of reads to me that you've been thinking about how you want your life to go for a while. You've been trying to navigate your life, and that could be with career, that could be with school, that could be with work in general and how that then intersects with different parts of your life. I know me, I'm constantly trying to navigate both my work life and my romance life, making sure that I'm putting time in for both of those things. It's something that I'm still working on, but I definitely do get that you're searching within yourself to find the answers. You haven't really been focused on love for a while. And it's something that you wouldn't mind having, but it's not on the forefront of your mind, and in which you're actively dating, you're actively putting yourself out there, you're traveling, you're going out. And you know, if you're like the United States, we're still technically in a pandemic, and I know that some areas within and outside of our country are still in lockdown. So if that is the case, then that maybe be the reason as to why you're kind of in this introspective mood as well. But I definitely just see that, I see that definitely within this Hermit energy here, that you are just kind of contemplating your life. You're kind of contemplating what's going on. So it sounds like a very relaxing Valentine's Day so far, but I will continue going on. So this almost kind of gives me, so this is the Hermit energy and this is introspection. This gives me kind of what you're thinking about. This kind of gives me the tale of like the prominent thoughts of what will be on your mind tomorrow, or the different things that you might be thinking about. So with the Eight of Voices, I do know that the voices in this deck represent swords. Let me make sure. Yes. Okay, so just I am using the book as a cheat sheet. But the Aries swords have grown into voices. So with the Eight of Voices, let's start with your reading and start really getting into it. So I am going to do a mixture of book reading, just going from the guidebook, and also my intuition, just because I am still learning to trust it. Most readers are using their intuition. That's how you really read cards, despite all the specific messages that artists and authors can attach to the cards, just because, you know, you're very subjective, and how you read is very subjective, and there is no right or wrong way to read. But with that said, I definitely want to make sure that I'm giving you the right information. So with the Eight of Voices, the Sun, and the Nine of Emotions. So I'm getting, you almost seem like you've been thinking about past romances. I don't know if for some of you you've just gotten out of a relationship, or you got you've just recently broke up with somebody. This can be definitely something like that. I'm picking up a moment of contemplation, and from these I'm thinking about the Sun gives to me like hope, and the Eight of Voices gives to me kind of like obstacles, challenges, not being able to see through the muck of what's going on. So perhaps you're, you know, on your Valentine's Day, your introspection, you're in your introspection, you're being very introspective, you're thinking about maybe a past romantic person, a relationship that you've just gone through. Maybe you're trying to assess how you feel versus what you see and what's in your 3D world, and versus how you feel. And maybe the Nine of Emotions. The Nine of Emotions to me kind of gives, like, if I can conceptualize it this way, the Hermit is like the topic is the Nine of Emotions, where I almost get do I stay or do I go type of situation. Because with the Sun usually is transformative. I'm trying to find the right words. The Sun is usually positive overall. Transformative, it usually means like when I think about the Sun, I think about the sun rising, right? Like after a long while, something finally transformative, something finally uplifting is finally rising to the surface and coming to answer what question might have been beckoning in our lives. So with the Nine of Emotions, with that, it's like you're contemplating, and it's almost like, should I stay or should I go? Maybe maybe you've just recently broken up with somebody, or you're deciding if you should break up with somebody. Because with the Sun, I do see like you want, or you're thinking about something that you lost, lost, something that you might have recently lost, something that you might have lost within a year or 2 years. I know for me personally, it's 2 years when it comes to romance. But the never emotion, should I stay, should I go? The sun gives me, you had something positive. That's what I'm ultimately feeling. No matter what the situation is, there was something positive that you once had, and it might have made you feel good, or you might have wanted to make you feel good, or it might have been like a positive thought. But maybe that thought that you had, maybe that image you had for a relationship or for yourself or for a situationship, even the idea that you had for it, maybe it wasn't matching your 3D world. What you were seeing in this, whatever this is, I do pick up as a person of sorts, or a romantic situation, but you were seeing something differently from what it was, with the Eight of Voices. The Eight of Voices gives me a claustrophobic feeling. It's like you're tied down. So it's like, should I stay, should I go? Because I feel the sun. I feel the sun is happening. I feel the sun, this person is my sun. This person and our relationship is the sun. But why am I experiencing the Eight of Voices? So I'm going to put that back there. I don't remember if this was the right order. It seems like it. But the Four of Materials, the Seven of Inspiration, and the Fool, maybe this is kind of what you're considering, and maybe this is your answer, or perhaps more of, not necessarily your answer, but this ongoing current situations of what the situation is. So I'm going to get some more cards in a second, but to conceptualize this, we have you guys are, I'm gonna eat these, put this at the top. You guys are the Hermit, and what you've been thinking about for a while. Should I stay or should I go? Because what I'm feeling is different than what I'm seeing. My happiness isn't meeting up to what I'm seeing around me. If this person loves me, then why are they doing this? If this person cares, this person says they care, excuse me, but they're doing this. Or I'm with this person, I'm happy, but I feel very, very isolated, which I don't know if I'm projecting that or what, but that's something that I can personally relate with. But Spirit's telling me that this is definitely something as far as isolation too. Like, the more that I say it, I was about to say like, oh, I could just be projecting, but that could just be me, like, never mind. But actually, like, I get like you've been, so maybe you're thinking about, should you stay or should you go? Because this situation, as much as you want it to exist, to be a thing, to live as you've thought it, it's not the way that you see it. Because it's just very, feels like a cold, isolating card. But this is where I will pull out the guidebook and I will see what's going on. Because the Eight of Voices, I feel like there's a different message in there that perhaps if I read the description for it, while I might not know the context, maybe it will best serve you. So wow. Okay, so the Eight of Voices, feeling stuck or bound, believing you have no choices, a self-tethering, the empowering or disempowering effect of belief, no way out, unleashing your ties, seeing the truth, clasping at my scream. Okay, so before I continue, yeah, so feeling stuck, and I'm going to just rise up real quick. Ooh, make sure I'm showing you guys the right card. There we go. So the Eight of Voices. Yeah, and then what you're seeing is the raising up the sun. Yeah, okay, there we go. That's what we're looking at, and that's how we feel, but that's not what we're getting. So I'm definitely get like this could be a situationship, a toxic relationship, or a hookup that you're wanting to see progress, and maybe you feel intuitively, maybe you know deep down that it is, but you're just not seeing the surface of that. So Eight of Voices, the wall seems to cave in and the lights are blotted out from the sky, and she finds herself stuck in one spot with no way to move. She always did have the worst luck. As she imagines her prison, her heart begins to beat faster. I can't see, she says out loud. It feels an invisible strap clasp at her wrist. I can't, she calls out again. Another rope anchors into her arm. I'm going to read this next part to myself, just because I forgot this is a video, and I might not be able to read you guys the full description without there being a copyright claim. So, but give me 1 second. Okay. All right, but here's the thing though. Something I do want to read out. The universe whispers gently, you're not stuck. Look at the options around you. She slows her breathing and her blindfold falls away. She opens her eyes, watching the sun peek over the mountain behind her, seeing that she was stuck in a web of her own making, always able to leave anytime she wanted to. Now, this is something that always gets me. I am always in this energy too, group one. So maybe you're worried and that's why you're stuck, because it's like you feel one way, but you feel that this is something right, but you're not seeing what you're feeling. And maybe the Eight of Voices is you overthinking. Maybe it's like, oh, I don't know, maybe it's like you're in this beginning relationship or something, and you're feeling like, I should feel this type of way about this person, or it's been X weeks, it's been X amount of months, it's been X amount of years, I should feel this way about this person, right? And it's like you are making, I don't know, I don't want to say you're making your problems, because when we're in it, it feels so abstractly different from when we're on an external view on the opposite side. But with the Eight of Voices, it seems that you are kind of contemplating kind of like whether you should stay or you should go, because you're feeling stuck in this. You don't want to feel isolated, but yet you don't know how to get it to the sun. You don't know how to get it to what you've been feeling. Let me kind of get this sun message too, now that we're here, the sun and the Nine of Emotions, because I feel like this is pretty important. So powerful positivity, success, optimism, joy, happiness, celebration, family. I almost, I just got, I'm trying to give you the world, but you're on a different planet. If that's how her song goes. The song that I'm referring to is by her. It's called I Won't. I won't sing it for you guys, but it is on Spotify, it is on Apple Music, and it's the bomb. But that song essentially talks about, you can't make me love you if I don't want to. You can't make me have feelings for you when they're not there. And from her perspective, she's trying to tell this person, yo, I like you or whatever, but like not that much. And you're trying to give me the world, but I'm on a different planet. So I just got that maybe it's you, this from her perspective. Maybe it's you who feels like her in this case, that it's like you're trying to give me the world, but I'm on Saturn. I'm on Jupiter. Like, why are you... give it up. I don't know why you're doing this. Give it up. And the person maybe is like, no, I don't want to. Or maybe they're just not getting it. Or this could be you. Maybe this other person, whoever you're dealing with, maybe they feel like, you're trying to give them the world and they're on a different planet. Either way, what you're feeling and what you're experiencing is not the same. But the Nine of Emotions tells me also that this kind of... The Nine of Emotions does give me a person, though. A person, and it does give me a kind of feel for the situation. So the Nine of Emotions, the keywords for it read, a brewing romantic heart, dating, new love, a happy flirtation, wearing your heart in your sleeve, loving the idea of being in love, thrill of the chase, going for it, the buzz of the fresh and new. So you are maybe... So you are in some type of new or fresher relationship. I definitely do get like it's like a fling where you're just talking to somebody, maybe in the very beginning stages of talking to somebody. Maybe I'm not getting a long-term energy at all. So I would definitely say, if that's not something that, if you're trying to find your twin flame or your soulmate in this reading, I wouldn't say this is the reading for that, because this feels like someone either at the end of the beginning and having to decide whether I should continue to date this person or whether it's run its course, or I'm getting that this was a very short-lived fling. We're at the end of the beginning in the sense of a very short fling, and should I move on, or is this person going to give me more? Because I think that he can give me my son. I think that she can give me my son. I think they can give me my son. this person could give me my son, but yet why do I feel so isolated? Should I just go? Is this person meant for me? Is this person going to give me my son? Or are they just going to leave me, keep me isolated? Should I go? Kind of a weird thing going on here. But, so yeah, let's read out these cards. So you have the 4 materials, 7 inspiration, the Fool. I don't know how many times I'm going to actually change the spread. I know you're supposed to keep the cards same. I know that usually people do, but I don't know. There's something that helps me where I'm a very visual person. I'm a very creative person. And I usually need to have the visual as well as trying to understand what's going on. So with the 4 of materials, the 7 of inspiration, and the Fool. What's going on? Okay, I see where that came from. So that's your card. Let me put that over there then. Then let me do this. So this is your options. Okay, and then let me see. Maybe this is the outcome of your decision. So I'll put this here. Okay, all right. Okay, I'm thinking aloud. Let me get us on a right track. Okay, so I'm sorry. This is not gonna be the case all the time. Hopefully not. But let me look. Okay, we do have your cards straight, so that's all that matters. Okay, so I do see Knight of Emotions, 8 of Voices, the Sun. That was what we were thinking. And let's read more into this energy. This energy, from what I'm getting, I almost get I get a mixture from these 3 cards. This is almost telling me what you will do, or not necessarily what you will do, but I feel like this is a possibility of what could happen. But also this is the predominant kind of choice that you're leading towards, or this is the prominent idea that keeps coming back to you when you ask yourself, what is it that you want? And this is kind of what keeps popping up, but you're not sure if this is in fact the truth yet. So the 4th of materials, let's read into that. The materials in this deck, it transfers into this deck is, instead of materials, it's pentacles, which I believe you could guess from that. But 4 of pentacles and 4 of materials. The keywords are savings, checking on finances, creating solid foundations, resting on your laurels, a time to step into an abundance mindset, letting go of lack, building for the future, protection, and generosity. So when it comes to your Valentine's Day, and in regards to this possibility, I do see that this is something that you steep on a lot more. And I think that you can steep on it a lot more. I don't think this is something that you have to decide now, which might be what the 8 of Voices was talking about when it comes to the idea of you have yourself in a web of your own thinking. Maybe you're trying to force yourself to make a decision right now, but you don't have to make one right now. You definitely don't have to make it on Valentine's Day. It can suck to be broken up on Valentine's Day, and I've broken up with somebody on Valentine's Day, and I've been broken up with on Valentine's Day, so it's neither fun on both ends. So you can definitely take your time in making the decision if that's the case. And the only reason why I assume that this is, a romantic thing is because this is a Valentine's Day reading, and given all of what we have, this does read to me as someone who is dealing with trying to figure out what the best option is after a long while of not receiving what they feel that they've needed to. And this isn't an entitlement thing. Maybe you're like me. Maybe you read a lot of tarot readings, and in those tarot readings they've said like, oh, your abundance is coming, your abundance is finding you, and your manifestations are finding you, and love is coming, that's not a lie, right? But it doesn't happen on our time, and that's something I have to remember too. It's not going to happen on our time. And maybe kind of going back to the 8 of Voices, we're getting impatient because we're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting, and we're like, I don't know what the best thing is here. Should I stay? Should I go? I'm trying to decide. I don't know what's going on. And Spirit's like, hold on. You can take your time. You don't have to rush, right? So the 4 materials definitely gives me an idea of like, you can ponder on this a little bit more. So I definitely do get like, so when it comes to tomorrow, have a fun holiday tomorrow. Don't just, you know, think about this situation to the point where it puts you back in the Eight of Voices energy. But the Four of Materials tells me that you are going to take your time. That reads to me as someone who is still going to steep on the idea and steep on the options. But the idea that I'm getting right now from the Seven of the Inspiration, it's defending your position. Oh, I'm sorry, these are keywords. Defending your position, being attacked, protecting your inner light, other people's negative opinions, scarcity or mindsets, internal versus external validation, energetic shields, paying attention to your energy. Okay. All right, so the Seven of Inspiration. Well, first, the inspiration in this deck, it translates into wands. I don't know why that took so long, but it's wands. Okay, so but this tells me I said all that to say that the Four of Wands, I'm still learning the minor arcana. But I am very fond of the Fool card, and I do know that the Fool card is a new journey, a precipice and a new beginning, where it's the start of something. So I feel like something tells me that from this card, right? We just heard about kind of like external opinions and other people's. Oh, did I say the Four of Inspiration? I'm at the Seven. Let me make sure that I had the right card. The Seven of Inspiration. Yeah, okay, so defending your position. Okay, so it's the same card. So Seven Inspiration, defending your position. So maybe a part of the reason why this is such a hard decision is because you know you're going to get pushback for it. Like, and this is something that, you know, I can weirdly relate to as well. It's like, the Seven Inspiration kind of making, you having to embark on this new journey. Let me put these cards up because I'm losing myself. You're embarking on this new journey, but not with the entire luxury of not having to explain yourself. The Seven of Inspiration tells me that you are still unfortunately going to have a lot of pushback. And that's because maybe you know this person. Maybe you know this person, or maybe this person was no good when you first started the fling. And I mean no good as in like non-committal. Maybe they have a reputation for being fast. Maybe they have a reputation for being a player. But the Four Materials is like you're sleeping on your options. And maybe you go to people about this. And people then try to tell you to stay in this introspective energy, or to leave, or to, you know, go. And you don't know yet because you still feel the sun. Like, this person might be a player, this person might have a bad reputation, or whatever the case might be, but you still feel what you feel, and that can't just be thrown out the way because you haven't experienced that yet. Like, people are telling you all of these opinions and what to do and what not to do, but it's like, thank you for your advice, but I don't know what's best for me, and I need to figure out what's best for me. I can't just listen to I can't listen to the seven of you guys, or how many people it is. I can't listen to all these options. I've been thinking about this for a while. Like, I've been thinking about this for a while. I've been, you know, just because it's Valentine's Day, like, this, it doesn't mean I've only been thinking about it on Valentine's Day. I've been thinking about it for a while, and I feel it. I feel that me and this person might be really good with one another. I can't, you have to let me decide, you know? Like, I'm definitely getting someone who, and that feels like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, after kind of just steeping in your energy, steeping is my favorite word today, but after steeping in your energy for a couple of minutes, it does definitely feel like you're stuck in this because you have people telling you, okay, so sorry, I don't mean to move this around again, but it's like I'm getting the picture now. I'm getting the picture. You have people telling you that you should just go, right? What I'm getting is that you're the Hermit. This person's the Knight of Emotions. Right now, unfortunately, you feel isolated. But intuitively, you feel that these two things could work out. You feel that this person could be the sun. Like talking about earlier, if you let me give you the world, if you're open to love, if you're open to being vulnerable in that aspect, if you like me enough to where you think that you could be in a relationship with me, then I could give you the world. But why are you playing? Why are you playing these games? You're the sun. I could give you, you are my son. I'm your son. I could give you the world, but you over here isolating. Okay. Anyways, but the Fool materials tells me that you're going to steep on it. You're kind of going to steep on it. And the Fool tells me that you might take it. You might take it. In the sense of, if the Fool is a new opportunity, and on Valentine's Day you're asking yourself whether it's best to stay or go, the Fool honestly gives me the idea that you're going to decide to go. At least for now. And I think that's the best decision, just from what I can feel. You might decide to stay, but I think that's not going to stay for long, because your staying is just more contemplating. It's like your staying is, you're just still a sitting duck. If you don't go, there's nowhere else for you to go. So it's like, after a while, you're going to get tired of resting. And if you don't, then that's fine. Take your time. No one can tell you. Neither me or any of these 7 people can tell you about yourself and what the best situation is, right? But I think that, I know with me, I'm learning patience, and I get tired of waiting even still. I would start to go, and I feel like that's the case here. I feel like with the Fool, you're coming to understand that whoever this person is, if they are indeed your son, like the Knight of Emotions gives me the potential of the sun. The person could be your son, but if they were, I don't think they'd be making you wait as long as you've been waiting now. I don't think this would be as hard of a decision as this is now. Because even despite you not knowing what path to take and kind of causing yourself so much frustration that you're in the Eight of Voices energy, this person's still putting you in a position where you're putting yourself in that place, right? It's like you're still stressed. You're still contemplating because you feel this, but this person, all of your 3D interactions with the Knight of Emotions has been your Eight of Voices. You've been isolated. You've been shut out. You've been kind of closed the door on. Feels very isolating. And not to trigger anyone, but that's what it feels like. So I do feel like you will go. Or at least you have the possibility to go. And I'm going to lift up the card that way. You have the possibility to go. And well, I can't say what the best decision for you is. Only you can. I do think that anything new is always going to be exciting. And I think if you give your chance the opportunity to find something new, then you might be surprised at what you find. And it might not even be something where you have to do that for a while. Maybe, going out then triggers this person and makes them realize what they're missing. Or maybe, this is not the year. Maybe you know this person, you're going to know this person for a while. Maybe they're a friend. Maybe they're, a friends with benefits that you got into the situation with. Maybe this person to me feels like, I don't know, they don't feel long term. They feel very new, right? So this could be the new start of something. This could be the new relationship of something, or a situation that you're still trying to decide whether it should go or pass. But ultimately, I think with your last card being the Fool, I think Spirit's telling you that if you want it to go, that you're supported in that. And that there's some better and more exciting and fun experiences that you can have if you do decide to go. Because even leaving doesn't always mean that you're leaving for good. And what is meant for you will find you. It will never leave you. And I'm saying that as someone who had went through their own separation with maybe a twin flame, maybe a soulmate. I don't know. But if that person's meant for me, they're going to be coming back. And if they're not, then good riddance. Someone better is coming. So with that said, all right, so we've gotten to the point where we've read the cards. I would like to, you know what I'd like to do? I was going to get you some more tarot. I'd like to get you some channeled messages from the Hermit Tarot's deck, the channeled messages deck, actually. I'm a huge Hermit. I have the messages deck. Just bought that. I have the channeled messages deck from the Hermit Tarot. I have her channel messages this way. Like I love Hermit Tarot so much, and I just, yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna use this deck to get some messages from the Knight of Swords, or not the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Emotions, and we're gonna get you some messages. I might get you some advice from a different tarot deck or a different affirmation deck. And we're going to end your reading there, but I hope you did enjoy, at least for the first reading, the first very messy reading. I hope it did help you despite its messy executive techniques or its protection. I don't know. I hope you enjoyed the reading despite it being so messy. So Spirit, let's ask, can we hear from the Knight of Emotions? If this person is willing, can we hear some messages from the Knight of Emotions? Are these messages so far? All of these? That is. That's not. Okay. As many, let's get 6 messages. Let's get 6 solid messages. I think that's enough time to really, that's enough cards to leave a good note on, or to leave with. So, can I get some more messages from from the group 1's Knight of Emotions? More channel messages from this group's Knight of Emotions. Group 1. What does the Knight of Emotions want to say to group 1? Okay, so that's a card. I'm coming, trust. Okay. Ooh, please don't fall. Please don't do that. Okay. I'm coming, trust. Can I get 3 more cards? What else does the Knight of Emotions have to say to group 1? I am coming, trust. And that came flat out on its face. So that person is coming. I want to get you drunk, okay? I don't know if I can. You Matter did come out. I'm not gonna bring it out because it didn't technically come up, but it did flip over as I was doing it, as I was shuffling. So I think that's important to mention. And you do have cards that are trying to fall out. I know that I'm a bad shuffler, but it seems like this person, just from the way that the cards are working, it's like this person is very, I get a very methodical. They might come off as they might come off as not intuitive as they don't appear. I don't want to say they're I'm sorry, let me find the right words. Your Knight of Emotions has a very naive look to them. And I think they intentionally put this on because they know they like surprises. They like surprising people. They like how people underestimate them because they then like showing people what they are instead. So with the way that the cards are falling out, they are falling, and they're it's a very messy process. And I'm a bad shuffler, so it adds to that. But I'm getting, in this very messy process, I'm also getting not only these messages that I feel are indeed your messages, group 1, but I feel like they have kind of more value than even what I can understand. I feel like this person is giving you messages in between the words, in between the sentences, and I get that this person might have a playful energy. This person have a player's energy. This might be someone who I'm getting very much of a swagged out lover boy, and this person can be any gender, of course. I don't want to give them any particular pronouns, but I am getting excuse my French, fuck energy. I don't know if I can swear like that. I don't think so on YouTube. But I'm definitely getting decked out, swagged out, honeyed words, They know what to say, and that might also be something that doesn't work in their favor when it comes to this connection, because, you know, I get very much like I get like a bad rep, bad boy type. I'm getting that archetype. So, with that said, all right. So, I just bent one of those cards. That's okay. So, I need to reveal all the rest of your chat or your messages. But the 15, I want to get you drunk, is definitely something that is coming out to me. This person is a player, or at least they used to be. And the unfortunate thing is that they were really good at being a player. I'm getting a manipulative energy. I'm getting it's a very specific feeling, but I'm getting that feeling that, you know, things are going to end horribly. Like, you know, you're making a mistake. You know, you're about to ruin your life, but you're like, well, let me go ahead and make this mistake real quick. But let me turn over these other cards. All right. So I sometimes wonder if you care. I just want space. I am coming. Trust. I want to get you drunk. Words do hurt, and I just wish things were different. Wow, this actually seems like a little bit more complicated than what it originally exposed itself as, because if I get from your end that you're contemplating if you stay or you should go, but I'm getting that this person, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time finishing my sentences, but it's because I'm not sure exactly what I should say about this person. It's not my call to make, but I don't necessarily like that I can't get an exact answer from this person, because it's like, if I get it. I get why people are speaking on behalf of this person, and I'm not saying that's right, of course, because you can't, if I don't know this person, they don't know this person, at least not enough to where they can tell you how to go about this. But I'm getting a lot of emotions. I'm getting some distrust, because in my head, I'm immediately seeing someone smiling, and that person having a very beautiful, attractive smile, but then having their fingers crossed behind their back. But I don't want to say that this is the person's energy now. I don't know. But I just definitely was something that was part of their energy before. And maybe this is something where you're deciding if you can trust this person or not. Maybe you take that leap of faith. Maybe that's what this fool is maybe instead of letting go, your staying is your full opportunity. Maybe staying is your new opportunity in this, and deciding to stay with this person despite all of what people are saying. But I do get that this person, I don't know if this person, you mean something to this person. They care. Now, I'm mindful. To be mindful, they can care about the wrong thing. They can care about just sex. They can care about just basically getting their gratification and heading out. And if that's a casual thing and you want that, then sis, go get it. But if you don't want that, if you want, and I'm getting that you don't want that, I'm getting that you want something more with this person. You wanted this person to be your son, and I think maybe at the time that you're talking to this person, maybe with this decision, maybe they're just not giving you that energy right now, because I'm still getting that they're not ready. And they're not ready in the sense of they still have a few more people. They have a few more, if you get my drift, they still have a few more people to, they have a few more wrinkles to iron out. They have a few more pools to drop the kids off at. And that's a reference to pooping, not what I'm thinking. Like, this person does care, but if they care, I think either it's about the wrong thing, or it's about, if they care about the wrong thing, if they don't care about the wrong thing, I think they're trying to understand the context of how much they care for themselves. Because I think that if they're not a player energy, or if they were once a player and they're trying to kind of repent and show people that I'm not this person anymore, I've changed, they're trying to show you that, hey, I've changed. I feel like this person, if that's the case, that person does care, but I think they're trying to understand how much they care and care about who and what, and what that means. So maybe I don't get that they're ready. I don't get that they're ready. And I think that sometimes I wonder if you care. That gives me a bratty energy. That gives me the idea that something is on the precipice of this person mentally. They're about to have a eureka moment when it comes to you or this connection. Because there's something where they're starting to understand that, like, I care about this person a lot more than I realized. I just don't know if they're going to come to that conclusion before you have the chance to see it through. Because I do think that with the Fool, that's either you deciding, okay, I've waited long enough, this person's not going to give me what I want, this person's not ready, it's time for me to go. Or it could also be you saying, you know what, I care about this person, and I'm going to take the chance and risk getting hurt again, or risk being hurt, because this could be someone that, you know, you work with, someone that you go to school with, someone that's in your relative social circle that you might not talk to but you hear about all the time. Like, maybe the fool could be either, I'm going to take this chance with you, let's try again, or I'm going to find someone who can love me right. So yeah, I just wish things were different. I do get that you might know this person. Just because I wish things were different, I just want space. I want to get you drunk. It seems like, I don't know if you guys had a falling out. I don't know if you guys were, you guys kind of had a understanding before this point of what was going to happen in the situation, and then either you or this person have complicated things by being like, hey, I have feelings, or whatever the situation is. I definitely do feel like this person is, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, they care. I just don't know if they're what you need right now. And I would take that as it reads, because I've learned that can be genuine, or that can be, you know, manipulation. And honestly, group 1, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's gonna be your own intuition. It's gonna have to be your own discernment. You're gonna have to figure out what the right truth is for you. But I will say the bottom of the deck energy is, I miss you, do you? So I wish I could have some more helpful information for you. But I am going to get you some advice before we go. I feel like that would be the best thing to do. Because I feel like I didn't give this person justice, and I don't know them enough to where I can. So I'm going to use these messages from the Hermit Tarot. They are on her channel. They're on her channel, but they're also on her website, the Hermit, I think, shop, period, the Hermit Tarot .com. If you go to her YouTube channel, she should have it there. But these messages are on her website for $5, five Australian euros, I believe, or it's Australian money. And I think that when I got mine, it ultimately meant for me like $3.33. But I guess, well, I don't. Okay, so the message I get was Scorpio, heart chakra, the 11th house, and longing. And Scorpio. So yeah, this person used to be a player, and unfortunately they were really good at it, because the Scorpio, at least when it comes to romance, gives me a lot of sexual energy, flirtatious energy. They could, yeah, I'm so sorry. No, I mean, I say sorry because I wish I could. I definitely understand why you're in this Hermit energy now. I definitely understand why you got this card. And I just wish that I could give you some more insight as to what to do about your situation. But I do think that your answers are coming. I don't think Spirit's just going to leave you hanging with your answers. But you have to be patient, and you have to be able to not focus on it as much, because you will drive yourself insane doing that. You will make yourself, you will lower your vibrational energy thinking about what could happen, and then thus fulfill a self-fulfilling prophecy if you don't stop stressing about this situation. But it can be hard because this person seems like they can give you a lot, and whether that's, they have a lot of potential, and that's a lot of potential to either love, or that's a lot of potential to not love, and that's a big leap of faith that you'll have to take. But I do get the heart chakra, so I would definitely look at crystals. I'd look at music. I'd look at meditation frequencies that uplift your heart chakra. I'd eat green foods, cucumbers, watermelons, anything green, honeydew melons. That would help with your heart. Your 11th house, originalities, prizes, futuristic, and longing. Yeah, I do think that, again, not to stress yourself out, because with your 11th house and your heart chakra together, that makes me think that you have some work to do on yourself, in the sense of there's things that you can do in the meantime. No matter if you decide, like, while you're still trying to make the decision of whether you leave or whether you go on this new endeavor with the Knight of Emotions, you do have something that you can do in the meantime. Like, while you are waiting for an answer, the heart chakra connected to your 11th house tells me that you can work on the way that you carry yourself and the way that you react to surprises, because with surprises there, originality and futuristic, it gives me the idea of maybe you don't respond all the ways that you could in a healthy way, and I know that everyone does do that, so it's like everyone needs to work on themselves in that case. But like, maybe there's a way that you can handle, or you can work on handling your initial reaction to things, or maybe even maybe start to reconsider how you handle how you don't know, because with the Hermit energy, and the 11th house, maybe that was a thing I was supposed to tell myself too, but I know that sometimes when I don't know, I can get stuck in the 8 of Voices, where maybe Spirit's telling you, instead of stressing yourself out, think about why you're doing this. Think about why you're taking the time to not just rush into anything, contemplate and really consider how this person made you feel in the past, if this is a past situation, and if not, consider how you've been made to feel by other past relationships. You've felt isolation before, though, and that's something I know just from this card, and that's something that I knew came out that would help me connect better to you in this group. You've dealt with isolation within a relationship before, and you don't want to go through that again. So I don't think, this isn't something where you're just bound to not knowing. You can still have assessments of how you feel and what the best situation is from what you've experienced. If this person makes you feel as if you're going to feel isolated again, then okay, then you have your answer. But actually, I'm going to cut it off because this is probably getting longer than I intended. That's my advice at the top. So yeah, I would say to eat green foods, really watch after your heart, really protect your heart, really contemplate that emotion, really process that pain, because pain has the potential to turn into something meant for our growth. And in processing that pain and thinking about how you carry yourself and how you respond to situations, maybe you can go a long way in getting yourself out of this 8 of Voices. You can do things while you wait, while you decide. You don't have to just be in this Hermit energy. You have options. So I hope you enjoyed that group 1. I'm going to go ahead and go over to group 2 now. But if you did like this reading, again, my name is Ava at Ava Death Tarot, exclusively on YouTube. I don't know how expansive the scammer approach is when it comes to readers. I don't know if you have to have a follower or not yet, but I'm only on YouTube. I never charge you. I'm on a hobbyist, this is a hobbyist divination channel. I don't feel comfortable charging anyone when I don't fully know all of what the cards mean and represent yet. And I know I said earlier it's a matter about intuition and in reading intuitively, but I don't want to, I personally don't want to charge people based off exclusively my tuition. Not just yet. Maybe a couple years after I've done this, because that means that I've developed my intuition. I've trusted enough to where I can come to you guys and I can be certain of what I'm telling you. But for now, I'm exclusively on YouTube. If anyone offers you a reading for X amount of money at all, for any money, that is a scam. Same thing with any other reader. There is no reader on YouTube, I'm sure, who's going to slide into your DMs and ask you personally for money. So with that said, I hope you have a wonderful day, Group 1. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day tomorrow. Thank you so much again, and bye-bye. All right, hello, Group Numero Dos. Hello, Group 2. Nice to see you. Happy Valentine's Day. I did not explain this in the intro, but we're looking into how your Valentine's Day is going to go tomorrow. And I totally didn't mention that. So this is for how your Valentine's Day is going to go tomorrow. So thank you so much for joining us today. I've just finished filming Group 1, and Group 1 has a lot to decide. Group 1 has a lot to contemplate. And I hope I helped Group 1. They can let me know in the comment section. But we're on to your group now. So happy day. Hello. I was telling them in the last reading, I don't work today, and that's kind of the basic reason, the main reason why I haven't been able to do a lot of tarot readings and stuff. I've been contemplating a divination channel for a while, and I haven't been able to do it because I work 2 jobs right now. I work 6 days a week, and it's not as bad as it sounds, but that does mean that I don't get to do a lot of the creative stuff I was planning prior. So I'm doing that now, and that's kind of why this is so messy of a reading, because not only is it my first time technically reading, but I don't get to do this often, and instead of waiting, I've been waiting for so long. Instead of waiting, I'm just going with it, because I've gone to the conclusion that, you know, your first product isn't going to be perfect, and you can't wait for that, or else you'll be waiting forever. And that's what I've been doing for the past year. So I digress. Let's try that again. And then let's read into your energy, Group 2. So we are asking Spirit, Spirit, how is Valentine's Day gonna go for Group 2? How is Group 2's Valentine's Day gonna go? What's gonna happen? I do notice that you had an awakening. That's your card, and I think that's a really important card. All the groups got major arcana for the card that represented them the most, and I think that it says something that you got awakening. So, and this isn't death. This isn't death, right? Because, I mean, death has its own card in this deck. So, awakening is something completely different. This isn't like a fully transformative, unexpected change that's coming to your life. This is you're answering the call to something, which sounds so exciting. And I just randomly got excited. Like, I'm rambling, and I didn't do that last group. So, yeah, so let's get your cards. So what I did was I got 3 on one side, I got 3 on the next, and I kind of just went from there. And then after that, I got advice from your person using Hermit's deck, or Hermit's channel messages deck. And then from there, I got you some advice using her her initials and her kind of her continuing channel messages. But if you watch her channel, you know. But we're gonna get you messages from we're gonna read into your tarot, and then we're going to get you some advice or some messages from your person. After you and your person are able to talk through this reading, I am then going to leave you with a few cards for advice. So I'm going to make sure I'm succinct. I'm getting a little excited, so I'm going to make sure to make this a succinct reading despite all my excitement, all my random energy. And we're going to get you to ask Spirit, how is your Valentine's Day going to go? Spirit, how is Valentine's Day going to go for Group 2 tomorrow? I also wanted to make sure you guys knew I'm still learning how to shuffle. So, ooh, so is that upright or in reverse? No, it's upright. Ooh, okay. All right, that's fun. That's so fun. Okay. All right, and then may we get 3 more cards, Spirit? How is who? Oh, okay, all right. You got the sun too? Yes. All right, but it means something different. Okay. Okay, cool. I hear you, Spirit. I'm learning. Also, I've let group 1 know, but I'm so ready to make fun of myself and to tease myself because I'm going to treat myself in the same light with kind of like a boss energy. You guys as well, where it's like we accept mistakes and we continue to tell ourselves how to be compassionate with ourselves. I'm learning to be compassionate and I'm learning to be patient. So that's something we were talking about last group too. And I in time, I'll make probably an introduction video about me and kind of my role in all of this and why I decided to do a channel. But again, I've been waiting for so long that I wanted to just get a reading started. And from what I'm getting already from your energy, I think you want to do that too. I'm getting an excitement. I'm getting a something new is coming and exciting. And it's you might have plans tomorrow. This gives me plans. And if you don't have plans, then you might be able to make plans tomorrow. Like, you might not know, but this might be like a last minute thing where you're asked to go out somewhere or something like that. So I'm going to I'm gonna put your cards here. I'm gonna get some water because I did not realize that that's probably something I should have. But once I do that, we're gonna continue reading. So 1 second. Okay, so we are back and my voice is no longer dry. Where's my guidebook? Yes, so I was telling, before we start, I was telling group 1 that I do both the guidebook and I do both my intuition. I just kind of follow what I'm feeling. This was my first reading, technically, on this channel ever. My first time reading for a collective group of people. So I don't feel comfortable with, one, charging you, which is why I don't do that yet. I think that every reader who does is fine. And, you know, they have every right to, especially if you're trying to approach this from a business venture. That's wonderful. I would like some more time, personally, for myself. Because I was inspired by a lot of different readers on this YouTube channel. And I'm someone who's fairly new. And that's okay. Because, you know, generally readers read from intuition anyway. But I'd just like to have a little bit more practice before I start, one, charging people, and two, just exclusively going into my own tuition. But I will say I haven't been doing too much of a bad job, because I do give you my kind of interpretation first, and I do go back from the book when I have questions. So let's continue. We do have Pyrite here. And I think that's important too, that I chose Pyrite, and I didn't choose Pyrite with any intention in mind. Like, this is very last minute. This is all very much thrown together at the last minute. So if you received Pyrite for a reason, I think that you received it for a reason. So with that said, we're asking Spirit how your Valentine's Day is going to go tomorrow. You look... Okay, give me 1 more second. Group 2, we had to, unfortunately we did have to pause in between your reading, because I have been filming on my phone as my camera battery has been charging. So my camera battery is fully charged, however, I do think that because of the positioning of my camera instead of my phone, I unfortunately will have to, kind of not do any of the tricks I did with your cards before. Group 1 was able to see it, but kind of how it made sense to me, I rearranged their cards and kind of talked more about how I saw their situation from my personal kind of subjective view. I can't do that per se with our cards as far as I know. From here up is what you guys can see, so I'm not going to do anything too courageous, but I did want to kind of get us back to where we were in talking about kind of what I felt. I don't know. There's a lot of distractions in this group too, so maybe that's part of the reason. Maybe the 5 of inspiration is more of just distractions on your end versus insecurities. Something's going on where, you know, despite all this paradise, there's still trouble, and I guess that's how it's always gone. But I did want to speak more into this section. Let me just make sure. Are you good? Okay, so no interruptions from my daughter, from my cat baby. No interruptions from out there. We should be good to continue to go. All right, so yeah. With that said, let's look into this. The sun itself is Let me just get back into the energy. I'm sorry, a little flustered after getting everything together for your reading. Okay, sorry about that. All right, let's continue. So, with the 8 of materials, overall, I'm seeing that this could be a date, and it went well. You were worried about something, but you got out of your head and you saw that it went well. You opened yourself to that experience, and it grew into a relationship. And so maybe it becomes something that, it's not always going to be, it's not going to be like easy as butter, like you're not going to have just rainbows and sunshine all the time, but I find that you'll have what you wanted in the end. And you would have achieved it being the person that you were meant to be, or a little bit closer to the person that you were meant to be, because you were able to get out of your head out of it. You were able to get out of your head. So that's what I'm seeing. With that, let's get some messages. I really do think if you're asking about a person, I'm getting the page of materials is that person. I'm getting that this is the person that you might be asking about. It could be the Empress, it could be the Sun, it could be the awakening. This could be a mirroring energy between the person that you're asking about and you. I don't know the full situation. I'm gonna just assume that this person's the page of materials for now, just because when I felt that initial excitement, it was just initially from this card, that and the Apprentice, but that was more of your energy. I'll get those later. And what we're doing now is we're asking for okay, all right. Just hit myself in the head. All right, we're working. We're doing it. We're doing the thing. We're doing the thing. We're doing the thing. It's my first time reading. We're doing the thing. We're learning, right? Okay. In all seriousness, Spirit, may I ask for you to be able to channel? Could we channel some messages from the person that group 2 is asking about for the situation? Could we get some messages using this deck, please? Okay, seek professional advice. Alright. Ally awake thinking about our future. And for this I asked for, I asked for 6 cards last time, so I think I'm going to ask for 6 this time. The Ace of Swords, Ally awake thinking about our future. Okay. Think before you act. Okay. I have so much desire for you. Okay, maybe this is, seriously, maybe the page of materials is someone you know, though. Make my heart full. And that was your 6th card, but I will say I know you from somewhere. It did pop up, so you know this person. Maybe you're, I don't know though, because with all these cards, you definitely have a past, so it's not someone new. But maybe it's because I still I'm getting anxiety from it. So I know you from somewhere. Seek professional advice. I lie awake thinking about our future. Here, let me what I'll do is I'll stack your cards this way so we know that they were in this order. Put that underneath 5 materials. I'll shuffle your. That's all that there, but I want to bring your advice to the surface, or to the camera's view, because I think that I know outright, I already know that I don't know the full context of what I'm saying, and not because I'm not guided, because I think I'm being 100% channeled. I'm channeling spirit right now for sure, but I know that I don't know the full context of what I'm talking about, but I do know this assortment means something to somebody. I know you from somewhere. Seek professional advice. I lie awake thinking about our future. Ace of Swords. Think before you act. I have so much desire for you. Make my heart full. So I will say, so far, I think, as a personal note for me, I know I mentioned before, my goal is to be as helpful as possible. I think what it is now is, I think that you guys know what situations are relative to your situation. Take what I say with a grain of salt. Take what I say. It's still a general tarot reading. This is not going to fit everybody. This is not going to be perfect mold for everybody. So while I say that, I do want to say, first and foremost, seek professional advice. If you have a therapist, talk to your therapist. If you're considering therapy, go to therapy. Talk to, your pastors, your fathers, your religious leaders, the people you trust in your life who might be able to give you some mature, developed, and methodical advice when approaching this situation, because I'm still feeling that this is new, but this maybe feels like a crush. Either this is like a crush and you finally got the courage to act your crush out on something, or you and your crush are finally able to come together after a period of time of not being able to hang out or meet. I'm not necessarily getting, so I want to say separation, but I tend to have a very dramatic understanding of that word, but this doesn't feel like a dramatic situation in the sense of like, this I don't feel like this is, if this is a twin flame soulmate connection, I'm not getting that, but I am getting a crush. So this might be someone that you have met recently that you just, for some reason, you don't know how it happened, but you have the fucking hots for. Like, you cannot get this person out of your mind because it feels like, or this person might feel the same way about you, or feel that way about you. This might be the person to, they can't get you out of their mind. They have to talk to you. So maybe like that's why the Five of Inspirations doesn't really matter at the end, because it's like the Five of Inspiration might be insecurity to you, but this is the Five of Inspiration is what this person loves about you. That's they never want to change that about you. Or maybe, the Five of Inspiration is you considering, how is this gonna happen, and now I can see why, because if this isn't a twin flame connection, maybe it is. I'm not seeing that per se. And I say that because if it is, it's going to be for a very select few of you in this way. Because to me, this feels like you're meeting someone that you've only known about / heard about through social media. So maybe like this is like someone you met off a dating app that you're seeing for the first time. This gives me the butterflies as if I'm meeting this person for the first time. But this is also giving me the anxiety that like I have to measure up and meet those expectations of what that person might have, because I already have a developed opinion and feeling for this person. So like I have a crush on this it feels like a crush. It feels like a crush. Maybe you're trying to impress your ex. Maybe like you were able to, like, through your own journey, kind of decide like, hey, I don't want to be this way anymore. I want to be more of like this. I want to carry myself like this. I want this person in my life. And maybe because what you did, Spirit, gave you the opportunity to do that. And now you're kind of stuck. Because it's happening. It's here. It's Valentine's Day. You're on this date. And, it's exciting, but it's also terrifying. And now I can see, like, okay, with all this context now, you really don't worry about the Five of Inspiration, whatever you have attached that to, whatever you have that as it relates to your life. I get it, but don't let it hold you back. It's one of those things where you're going to regret letting it hold you back if you do. Don't let it hold you back. Whether you're the person having asked, you want to go on a date, or the person who was asked on a date, let it go. I know you from somewhere, so you definitely do know this person. This is a co-worker, a crush, an ex. Maybe this person is like your superior in some way. Like maybe they're older, maybe they're wiser, maybe they're more mature, maybe they're your, not necessarily your boss, but maybe like your one of your supervisors. And maybe they're like, there's someone who you see as above you in some way. And maybe that's kind of what complicates things. It's like, I shouldn't be doing this. This person is my blank. This person is my blank. I'm not deserving of blank, or whatever you want to tell yourself, which is not true. I don't let me back up. I don't know your business. Let me get out your business. But I definitely just want you guys to take care of yourself through this. Because it seems like you're scared, but you have no reason to be. And I can't tell you have no reason to be, because it seems like whatever's in your 3D, there's a reason for why you're scared, a very valid reason to why you're scared. I feel that fear with you in this moment, and I only feel a little bit of it, just having tapped into your energy a little bit. So I have no idea the full brink of how you feel, but you feel a lot for this person. You make my heart full. I have so much desire for you. Ace of Swords. I lie awake thinking about our future. Seek professional advice. So, yeah. So, if need be, let me first. I'm not gonna be able to do the thing that I mentioned before, where I was able to conceptualize it and do all. But what I will do is put the cards in the order that I think they're most important. Unless Spirit wants me to change them back, but I've been given I haven't been told to put anything back yet, so I'm fine. Seek professional advice. Think before you act. There's the Swords goes here. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I guess I'll tell you guys in a second. So Ace of Swords. I know you from somewhere. I lie awake thinking about our future. I have so much desire for you. My heart full. I don't know what the 5 of Inspiration refers to, but these two, whatever that is, that's keeping you in your head, the Ace of Swords, and I know you from Sarah, are all connected. I'm a huge Hermit. I love the Hermit Tarot. If you guys don't know her channel, I would definitely check her out. But she is the Hermit Tarot, and on her website, and you'll be able to find it once you're on the YouTube channel as well. But she is that enough? That's that no, no. This is gonna have to be. At least, what happened to them? Okay. Alright, don't mind me. She has these messages on her website, and I really love them. And that's what we're going to use for part of your advice. So, so the 8th house, birth, death, transformation. You have some initials. Looks like D, I see Y, D, N, Y. Wow. I only just hit the iceberg, only hit the surface of what's going on here. Because whatever this awakening is, maybe the 5 of Inspirations has a deeper meaning than I definitely understand. Maybe it's not as simple as what I said before. Maybe it's not as small as an issue, as a pimple on a date. Because you're with your card Awakening in your 8th house, your birth, death, and transformation, we have Scorpio again in that 8th house. So you definitely have gone through some changes. I wonder if this person was involved in that too. I wonder if this person was a catalyst for the changes that you need to take for yourself. And maybe maybe this falling out with this person was what made you say, I have to do better. I can't stay this way. Honestly, group 2, I'm not gonna lie to you. This reads to me as this might be something that the person did. Just take it as it resonates. But this sounds like you have something to make right. And you're worried about how it's going to go. And I think it's going to go well if you get out of your head. And if you focus on the task at hand. And if the task at hand for you would be showing your most authentic self. That's how you show that's how you convince this person what you're trying to convince them. You're trying to convince them of something. Whether that is to restart something with you. I lie awake about our future. You make my heart full of so much desire from you. I know you from somewhere. Think before you act. So you, whatever you did, and I don't want to make it sound like that, because we all make mistakes, right? And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to make this a thing of blame. I don't think it's about blame anymore. You shouldn't blame yourself. You should forgive yourself. And if it was this person, you should forgive that person. And that person should, find it in their heart to forgive you. Whatever happened here, this kind of reads to me as you've changed for the better. You're not the same person that you used to be. And what you want for yourself and what you want for this relationship can happen, but you have to get out of your head. You have to let yourself go, and that's a lot more simple than saying, I let myself go. I let myself go. That could also be something here too. I meant to say, I just had a brain fart. So I don't know, this feels a lot heavier. The more that we get into it, this feels a lot heavier. So I definitely want to say, read some, or go see some more tarot readings. You sound like you might have a really important day tomorrow. I would be careful. Just because, think before you act. Nothing dangerous is going to happen. Nothing bad is going to happen to you. Just think before you act. And realize that whatever change that you made it with spirit. You told spirit that you didn't want to be this way anymore. You told yourself that you wanted to be a different person. You are that now. There's nothing to be scared about when you're talking to this person, but you have to at least think before you talk to them, right? If it's something where you think, okay, well, look, I thought I was ready for this, and it's, I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I'm going to have to do this later. But, if it's something like that, we have to be transparent, then do that. But look at how she looks. Look at the intention on her face. You have changed. You don't have time anymore for the old you or the old situations that you used to get into. You're done with that. This is 2022. You're ready for something new, and you want it with that page of materials, and you're just worried that it might not work out. But I think that it is. I think it's going to work out, and I think that you'll be fine, but you have to forgive yourself for whatever you did. And of course, if it was something, big and traumatic, I don't think you'd be reading this reading. I think you'd be somewhere else, right? If it was something like that, you know what I mean? Like, because, people can think and be like, oh, well, if you were, like, no, I'm not saying that. If you did something detrimental, then you wouldn't be here. But what Spirit is highlighting is whatever you did, it wasn't enough to break what you're worried about. And you can have what you want. You just have to think before you speak, think before you act, and be your most authentic self. And that's how you show that you've changed in this. But you gotta let that go. You gotta let it go. And I think that outside of this reading, if I wasn't reading, I would definitely think this is my pile, because I'm just going to share my story just in case if it might speak to somebody, but I've been in a twin flame situation for a while, and I'm just getting to the point where I'm confident in saying that. I'm just getting to a point where I feel comfortable calling that person my twin flame, my soulmate, and we had a separation, and I changed so much because of what happened, but that catalyst was such a profound means of change for me. I've changed in every single way from that day. And for my reading, it's not my call. I don't have to reach out to the person and set up the chance to talk and stuff, or at least I don't think so. So I don't know how hard it is to have to do that, but I think you definitely got a group too. But you just have to think about it, you know, don't hold yourself back. Don't get in your head about this. Let your 5 of inspiration situation go. Let it go. Because the moment the moment you let your 5 of inspiration speak before you do, that will be the moment that whatever you're trying to obtain will end. So think before you act. Think before you act. Think before you act. And you are a changed person. So whatever you did before, forgive it. Forgive it. Don't forget it. But don't hold it over your head when every time you tell yourself that you want love. Don't hold it over your head and have ego tell you that you don't deserve this person, or you don't deserve a new love with this person because of what you did to them, or anything like that. This is life, and we're given second chances for a reason. And if we couldn't handle that second chance, then we would never be given it to begin with. So that's all I have for you, group 2. This has been fun. I'm so sorry for all the distractions on this one, and all the breaks and everything, but I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful and safe Valentine's Day tomorrow. Thank you so much for kicking it with me on our first reading and what's going to happen tomorrow or for your Valentine's Day, just depending on where you are in the world. So with that said, if you liked this, if you liked this hobbyist divination channel, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I would always be interested in hearing about how your situation works for you. So if you feel comfortable in doing so, don't feel like you can't comment down. I would love to hear about what's going on with you. And yeah, so with that said, I'm gonna let you go. Thank you so much again for listening to our reading, and I'm gonna go to group 3. Bye, group 2. Hello, group 3, and this is your reading. If you chose the Temperance card, then this is indeed your reading. Hello, group 3. My name is Ava Death. This is Ava Death Tarot, and I'm not gonna lie to you. The first 2 groups were they were fun. The first group was they ended up being wow, yeah, the first I'm still thinking about group 2. Group 2 predominantly had a lot of working to do, and we just hit the surface with what group 2 is going on with. So hopefully with group 3, group 1 was good. Not as intense as group 2. Group 2 started fun, and then as we continued, it was like oh dear. So hoping that this group doesn't go that way, but we're here for the collective. So if it is, then we'll work through it. Ain't no worry about it. It seems like everyone's a little worried for Valentine's Day. It seems like everyone's a little in their head. Everyone's a little freaked out, let's say. But yeah, let's read into your energy. You know, let me I will say we did get a lot of these cards before, so I'm just going to take a second. I'm going to really focus on shuffling these cards, make sure we get you some fresh ones. And I already cleaned cleansed it with my Palo Santo. A lot of people might have noticed my white sage. I don't use it a lot. I actually bought white sage before I realized it was instinct, and it was also culturally specific. So don't mind that. There we go. There's some fresh energy for you. I don't know if for anyone who might have been offended by that, I didn't mention the other 2 groups. But yes, if you're offended by the white sage, I do apologize. It's very cultural specific. Please only get white sage if you are native to this land. If you have native blood, and I mean that with love, first of all. But I mean that, I know for me personally, I didn't grow up, I have native blood in me. I did not grow up with the culture. So I don't feel comfortable saying I'm native in that way. I can't be offended about some of the same things that I feel like native people can get offended for, because that's not my culture. Yes, I have native blood, but I mean, I also have an ancestor 6 to 7 years deep who's from the Philippines. So Um, you know what I mean? It's just a matter about what you feel comfortable identifying with. But I don't identify with things outside of how I was socially raised. I was raised as a black queer woman. That's what I identify as, a black queer woman. Pronouns she, they. Pick your poison. Either way. I don't know why I went into that, actually. I don't know why that ended up being a huge spiel. But what is up with everything going on today? Especially group 3. You have a lot. Wow. So when I pulled the cards for each group, I just pulled cards. And they also happen to be in the major arcana. And I say all this because you have the most major arcana in all of the groups here. So I'm interested to see what's going on in your reading. Off the rip, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm getting a lot of peace, which is great. Which is great. I'm getting a lot of peace. I'm getting a lot of, look at all these women. Like, there's all these women with their eyes closed. Like, I say 1, 2, 3, 4. There's about 4 cards where, like, view is obscured, eyes are closed. And a lot of these colors are on the cooler spectrum. So, like, you know, it's a mixture, right? You have a lot of cooler spectrum colors that usually mean tranquility, peace, relaxation, you name it. But then you also have a lot of warm, especially towards the end. I noticed that. I peeped that we go from a very cool kind of warm palette, and we end with a very warm energy. So let's read. Let's going on. Let's see what's happening. What's happening with group 3? Oop. All right. Make sure I don't bump anything and knock over that hot oil wax. but like what? We even start with the moon. Okay. So sorry. Before we start officially, you have Temperance, you have the Moon, you have the Hierophant, you have Justice. So, what's going on, Group 3? Who am I talking to? What's going on? Who are you? What's happening? What's going on? The Moon. So, I did let every other group know. I do mixtures of both reading from my intuition and both using the guidebook, just because this is my first tarot reading, and while I want to do right with my intuition, I also want to make sure I'm getting you the right information and right messages as much as possible. But also, the guidebook, sometimes I read a message and it hits even when I don't know it. So, the moon. The moon is, the keywords are illusions, hidden truths, shadows in the moonlight, facing your fears, obscured knowledge, you need to trust your intuition, instinct, the things you cannot know at this time, subtle illumination. Okay. Alright, hear me out. Okay, look, I know we just started, but that's what I got. That's how I felt. I didn't know what the moon meant. I know the moon's an important card, and I know that tends to be deception, but I didn't know fully what it meant. But I'm getting a lot of peace. I'm getting a lot of peace from your reading. I'm getting a lot of tranquility, right? But on the other end of that could very much also be mystery, stoic nature, not really being expressive. I'm getting a very quiet energy, quiet in the means of necessarily spoken. Not much is being said. Like, I'm the only one speaking in this room, but I feel that this is a very, very spiritual, very highly intuitive group. And I'm not saying that group 1 and group 2 weren't either, but that's what's at the forefront at this reading. I'm not getting, because with the other two, it was like they're contemplating something. There was something ongoing about their Valentine's Day that they're wondering what was going to happen. Like, one group is getting ready to kind of forgive themselves and start their new life chapter without any guilt and blame, and the other group is I don't know I don't know. I'm so sorry, group 1. If you're watching group 3's group and you've been waiting for a while to hear how I conceptualize a group and other groups, I'm so sorry. For some reason I can't maybe it's just because I've been filming for a while and I've been filming through phones and through other stuff, and I can't think about your energy right now, but yeah, I mean, group 1 was good. I love group 1. I love all my groups. But for group 3, I'm weirded out by how weirdly spiritual you guys are. Yeah, I don't even feel comfortable reading just yet. Let me just get a feel for these 3. These predominant 3, group 3, are kind of like your ongoing situation. So if this card represents you, this is your ongoing situation and kind of like your thought process and what's going on. And we've been using the other 3 cards to mean like a possibility of what's going to happen, kind of thinking about the type of possibilities that can happen. This is kind of a later energy, and this is kind of the now. This is what's ongoing. So, for the moon, we did have the illusion, hidden truth, shadows. And I did talk about earlier the woman's eyes being closed, about 4 women in this deck with their eyes closed. So, off the rip, I'm getting a lot of mystery. I'm getting a lot of being in the dark. And now I'm remembering it. Group 1 had to deal with a lot of isolation before, and so they were experiencing something new where they had to decide, they had to decide exactly what was going on with their group in which they had to leave, because despite seeing, despite feeling one way intuitively, they weren't seeing that being reflected in their 3D world. And whereas I'm seeing for you guys, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I feel that same isolation, but it's as numbing as the first initial stage of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it feels like group 1 felt like they'd been sitting in the dark for a while after the door closed. You guys feel like the door just closed and we're waiting for it to open back up. We're in the dark. We don't know the full truth, but we've been blocked off for some reason. We've been blocked off. We can't see. Why? Let's just go to 4 voices of the 4 swords in this deck. What's going on? So, 4 voices: sleep, deep rest and renewal, healing, the edge of burnout, needing to slow down, taking the time you need, self-love, and compassionate retreat. And the Knight of Emotions, we had a Knight of Emotions earlier too, and the Knight of Emotions represented a person for the other group. So let's see what's going on. Let's see what this Knight of Emotions is. Yeah, so I read before: a brewing romantic heart, dating, new love, a happy flirtation, wearing your heart on your sleeve, loving the idea of being in love, the thrill of the chase, going for it, the buzz of the fresh and new. Okay, and it's still too early. I might have to get you guys some clarifiers, because it's a little too early to see what's going on. So let me just continue on this side. Let me see what I'm getting. Because I get a couple of things. I'm getting a lot of different emotions. But that could all be read a different way. So, do I know? This is the first time I feel like I have no clue as to what's going on in your guys' group. But see, that's what a lot of these cards are, unfortunately, not knowing the truth. Which it sucks to tell you, is to focus on what this is. It's like you were forced to come to a stop. And I hope, in saying that, I don't trigger you. I hope it hasn't been something too big or too transformative or too overwhelming, and I'm sorry if it has, but you're being called to rest. You've been brought to a place of resting and clearing your head and getting your spiritual downloads and recharging and rejuvenating for a reason, because your eyes are closed for a reason. But this is about sleep, and this is about illusions and all of that, and Knight of Emotions with this new kind of romantic heart. I don't know. This person is just still reading to me as a person, but I don't think this reading is entirely focused on this person. I think that this person will be waiting for you after you've gotten your rest. I don't think they're going anywhere, but I think that they're in the back of your mind, but you're being told to not necessarily focus on this night of emotions. They're gonna be there once you're done resting, but you have to rest. But Hierophant, Justice, and the Queen of Inspiration. Yeah, so you're predominantly getting a wanting to, or a message of being told to rest. Maybe some of you are impatient. Maybe some of you have been really working at something and you've been trying your hardest and you've exhausted yourself to a point where you're forced to take a couple days off work, and now Spirit's like, okay, now here's the deep, sis, because you've been doing a lot. Like, maybe you're, you're gonna get all those answers that you finally wanted after, manifesting and talking to Spirit, and talking to your guides, or it's just, going throughout your average, regular, schmegular day and being like, what's going on? Maybe you're wanting a change or some type of stability that's been, it's so the truth being obscured is what's messing me up. So I'm sorry that I can't get you like a specific situation, but I will say, whatever situation this is in, is going to be for the better. Your answers are coming to you, just like group 2, because group 2 has some answers that needs to come to them as well, but this is in a completely different way. This isn't, have my actions ruined my chances of love. This is more of, I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no idea what the plan is. And maybe that's in reference to your Valentine's Day, where you think that you're going to go home and you're going to have a glass of wine and you're going to chill and you're going to rest, but then maybe the Night Emotions is someone who, like, maybe this is a neighbor, maybe this is someone you know who's like, what are you doing? And you're like, nothing, I guess, relaxing, and they're like, let's go out. Let's go see the town. Let me take you out, Maybe that's it. Because I'm definitely just getting like, you're not focused on love. You're not worried about that. You're not, that's not your intention. And, so what I want to do is I want to get you some messages from your person. For the sake of this reading, I want to, refer to them as the Night of Emotions. And I don't know if that's them, but if it resonates, take it. If not, no worries. I'm going to put your cards up there. And then, so I'm going to ask Spirit, ask your guides, and ask my guides, and ask their guides to see if we can get some messages from them. The Night of Emotions, if you're here, hello. Can we get some insight from you? Are you causing the ruckus? What's going on? You are wrong. That's what I'm getting. Okay, so you are wrong. I might be wrong. I would do anything for you. You are wrong, and I would do anything for you. Maybe that message isn't for me. Maybe you just had a thought and it's meant for you. I don't know. Time to ground yourself, though. That is what I was saying. Time to ground yourself. But you are wrong. Am I wrong? Ooh. You are wrong. I guess I'll ask for clarification when it comes to that card. Also clarification for I am in so much pain. What is going on with these groups? It's like the group 2, I had a message and we got these messages from the person and I was like, oh. And the message ended up being so much more deeper. So I wonder if this is going to be something for you, group 3. So this is light. I'm in so much pain, light, time to grind yourself. I would do anything for you. You're wrong. And I'm going to get you 6. So right now we're at 5. 4 and 5. Let's get you one more card. One more card, Spirits, from the Night of Emotions in Group 3's deck. I can't take all those. Do I have to? Wait, is all this right? That's right. I'm going to mention these 2. Actually, I think this one's right. This one might be wrong. I'm going to mention this one. Take it as it resonates, but I left because you told me to. It came out, but I'm not going to consider it a true message. But I'm too afraid to talk. I was told to keep that out. So the Ace of Cups. So the Knight of Emotions is a person. And the Ace of Swords too. Okay, so they are a person. And you know, for again, it's so funny. It seems like this is the group that's the most spiritually intuitive, most spiritually engaged, and yet this is the one group that I can't get the most answers for. But time to ground yourself is such an important message. I would do anything for you. I'm in so much pain. Light, Ace of Cups. That means opportunity and love. The Knight of Emotions, that makes me think of that person. I'm too afraid to talk. Ace of Swords, Temperance, we want balance. So, and then also there's You Are Wrong. Can I get a clarifying card for You Are Wrong? Is that for me? Is that, let me hear more about You Are Wrong. What's going on? I could be your hero, baby. And that was your card too. For the clarify of You Are Wrong. So maybe this is someone that, maybe the Knight of Emotions is someone that you do know. And maybe, I don't know if this is a similar group or not to group 1, but I just got that, you know, this person's wanting to tell you you're wrong. I could be your hero. Like, you're not seeing me for who I am. So maybe this is you, the Moon. You're not seeing everything that you need to see yet. You were wrong. What else did you get? Because I'm pretty sure Temperance, Knight of Emotions, the Hierophant. Maybe that's why you're being asked to talk to the Hierophant too. Let me pull up the Hierophant. Because you're wrong. Maybe you need to talk to somebody else first. Because maybe you have an idea of who this person might be, but this could be the wrong person entirely. Maybe this isn't the right person you're thinking about. But whoever you are thinking about, they could be your hero, baby. And they do anything for you. So maybe you've just got out of a situation where you're getting your stuff together, you're grounding yourself together, and maybe this person's not at the forefront of your mind, because maybe, now that I think about it, I don't think they caused the chaos. I think that the chaos came from something else in a different aspect of your life. So I definitely think... Hi, group 3. I'm so sorry we were cut off. I'm shooting between both my camera and my phone right now. So with that said, my phone doesn't have a lot of storage. I'm going to try to finish up this reading and then we can call it a day. I'm so sorry I have to rush your reading, but right now while I'm trying to work out different things, this kind of just have to be the system and I have to figure everything out. So with that said, yeah, I was going to go into, I don't think this person is the cause of your confusion. And now that I think about it, I don't think that they're necessarily attached to that as if they're experiencing it with you. I think that there's someone in the back of your mind that you kind of wished could have been in that process with you while you were going through all of that hustle and bustle and moving. So it seems to me that it feels like this is someone new, in the sense of perhaps like now that you're getting back onto your feet, you're now considering, reaching out to that person. Or if it's not a person, maybe it's someone you are going to meet, someone you're going to meet in your, different parts of life, your career, your something. It feels like the main reason why I wasn't getting a lot from that card is because there wasn't a lot of energy there. But that tells me that you don't know this person yet. So it feels like you are getting through your situation, you're getting through your 3D world, you're getting through your 3D kind of fast-paced life, and you're now at a point where you can rest and you can kind of catch up on all of that you've been kind of lacking with and having to move so fast and move so frequently. Like now in this place of sitting, you can finally just rest and think about things and let spirit talk to you and really focus on things you weren't able to before. So this feels like you've just moved out of town or something, or maybe you just got out of a new relationship and you were moving out of that, and now you're at a point where you're finding peace and you're needing to relax, you want balance. You're in a new stage of life where you've just finished transitioning out of an old one. You might have just felt the pressures of an old life cycle. That's what I'm getting from this group. And you are wanting balance, and that balance is going to happen. It's going to happen, and it's going to happen beautifully because you have the Queen of Inspiration. And I don't even think this is something that you have to necessarily focus on intuitively. I just think that you have to give yourself that time to rest. So this is from your person. So I could be your hero, baby. I do anything for you. Time to ground yourself. I'm in so much pain. Light, the Ace of Cups. I am too afraid to talk, and Ace of Swords. Now, with the I am in so much pain, I do feel like this is a new person. So maybe this is just telling me that you don't need to rush this, because the person who's coming, they haven't yet figured their stuff out yet too. So it's like, take your time, because whoever is waiting for you, the Knight of Emotions is going to be there. It's just that if you don't have your things together, the thing you might be trying to pursue with the Knight of Emotions, once all this is cleared up and over, it might not get its due diligence because you tried to rush to that rest. So really try to get that rest. Really try to talk to yourself and rejuvenate yourself, because it seems like you have something fun that's going to be incorporated into your life soon, which is exciting. But it seems like you're being called to sit and rest, and that you don't know all the answers yet, for a specific reason. And I just listened to another reading myself, one of my favorite readers. I have two male readers. I will shout them out just because I love male representation. I had a minor in gender studies basically in high school, or not in high school, in college, and I love representation. As someone who didn't have a lot of representation growing up, representation is my kink. So I read Dion's Divine, his tarot. He's a beautiful soul. I'm glad to see he's finally returned back. He took the time to rest. Incorporating his back into his reading. But he says something important about essentially, like, I mentioned him because he might have some more information about your soulmate, because I know he does a lot of good readings and a lot of in-depth work with that type of reading too. But when it comes to your Knight of Emotions, it seems like you have to rest, because you have to rest. Everyone has to rest. And I think he was talking, that's why I brought him up. He was talking about in this most recent tarot reading that, like, you can't cut corners, right? You have to give yourself that time to rest and think, because you are your most essential tool in getting all of what you want done. And you can't get it done if you're trying to pour from an empty cup. Who are you going to try to feed with that? Who are you trying to satisfy with that? They can't drink anything. The cup isn't full, it's empty. So you gotta rest. And yeah, that's exciting. And that's a good place to be in, because I feel like it's easier to always have to rest versus being told you were supposed to be doing something, you haven't been doing it, so what's up? Which has been none of the groups so far. But before we leave, let me go ahead and give you some overall advice. I've been using I introduced this before, but this is also some initials and messages from the Hermit Tarot. She has this available on her website for $5 Australian. I think that like rounds about to be like $3.33 as in the American dollars. But I'm gonna close my eyes. That seems good. Okay. I will say something about You Already Know came out. I didn't mean to look down early, but I did, and I did see that, and I think that I made that. Again, I don't think anything on this channel is ever going to be an accident, except for my bad shuffling. That will be an accident, but everything else won't be an accident. But you do have okay, so let's look at what you have. You have Libra. You have no chakras. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, this is my most intuitively spiritual group, but I'm not getting all the messages. Like, I'm not getting anything, because I get initials and I get Libra. You might have Libra in your chart. You might be Sun, Moon, Ascendant. You might have it in your chart. This person might be a Libra. You have Libra as some type of significance. And I will say, we have one more thing that fell down. Okay, so I lied. You have the 7th house that kind of slipped away from me earlier. So partnerships, contracts, and relationships. Libra, B, D, Y, and T. So, you know, that could be the initials of this person. This could be your initials. This could be a person, place, or thing that's relative in your world. But, yeah, so I'm seeing, especially with, let's see, well, let's try to break it down a little bit more, right? Because Libra is about beauty. You know, having a Libra placement tells me that you have some type of creative or visual thing to you. You have an allure to beauty, to aesthetic, to style, to finesse. Okay, I'm done. But with Libra, your 7th house, partnerships, contracts, and relationships. So yeah, it just seems that you're not going to rush into anything. You're not going to rush into anything. You're not going to make any rash decisions. And partially that's because you have been given the time to rest. And you've used that time to the best of your advantage in resting. But really with the 7th house, partnerships, contracts, relationships, yeah, I'm almost getting like this sense of like you want to focus on this, and the sense of you want a relationship. So your Valentine's Day honestly might be a little bit more introspective. It might be more of a self-love day. I think you should make it a self-love day. It should be a restful day. It should be a day that you're focusing on yourself. And I think that a lot of people want to diminish the work and the value of being comfortable with yourself. But that's the important thing. If you're comfortable with yourself, Valentine's Day is gonna be great. like treat yourself to face masks, treat yourself to some me time, if you know what I mean. Treat yourself to things that you like to do. Read a book, go see the world, go see your city, go get a coffee. Treat yourself in the morning. If you're gonna go work and you go and stop by your coffee place, get coffee, something, and food. Treat yourself in a way, you know, really take care of yourself, because I feel like you might be wanting things to stabilize so you can then focus on this relationship with the Knight of Emotions. And I feel like, I'm sorry, I had it right and then it messed me up. I'm sorry. So I'm going to keep playing with this and continue your reading. So with the last few minutes I have, I would just tell you that I think that you're going to have a very restorative, very beautiful Valentine's Day. I think it's going to be rooted in self-love. And that's nothing to be ashamed of. Because even if we do want a relationship, we have to understand that those things are coming, but they don't come just because we want them. And they don't come just because, you know, we're ready to be in a relationship. Which tells me that you're being told to rest and to really, you know, take it all in, because whatever is coming to find you is significant and is so much more than what you've experienced before. So, you know, this is past just wanting a relationship. This is having something significant come to you, and it's going to need to find you in a place where you're most secure, and that's only going to come if you've given yourself that time to rest. So enjoy your Valentine's Day. Watch your favorite movie. Really do things that are for you. Try to step away from work. Try to step away from what your family might need, what your friends might need, what your partner might need. Because, you know, we don't know. This could be a new person coming in after you're dealing with a new relationship. So however it applies to you, take your time. There's no rush. And if you are seeking a relationship, if you're seeking some type of contract or partnership or relationship, just know that you can't seek it if you don't have the energy for it. So, yeah, that's what I have to say. Did I get you everything? Let me make sure I got you your tarot. I got you your messages. I got you your advice. Yeah, so this is my closing remarks. This is my first reading, so thank you guys so much for being patient with me through this process. It's a work in progress, so a lot of what we'll do probably will change. I'll get my nails done so it doesn't look as horrendous on camera. and we're adjusting and we're making our pattern. But I feel that overall this reading is very much like your group 3, where we're just deciding. I decided to make this on a whim. I've been considering tarot for a while, but I told myself that I couldn't do it for a while, and so happens that this is the first day that I don't work on a Sunday, and I can really have this reading happen. So it may not be as perfect as I want it to be, but I have to remember that we all start from somewhere. And I think that very much like you, group 3, where you might want this partnership, you might want this relationship, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you are going to achieve it, but you have to achieve it being full, having your cup full. And that's only going to come if you give your time, give yourself that time to rest. So thank you so much again for reading, thank you so much again for watching this reading. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in my first reading channel. Let me know how this resonated with you, if it resonated, and let me know what you might be interested in seeing. This is a free hobbyist divination channel. There's not much I can offer you guys outside of YouTube. There's no memberships right now. There's no anything like that. There's no money whatsoever. I'm doing this as a hobby. I'm doing this because I want to practice how I speak to spirit and how I speak to myself. And it's beautiful that I learned how to do that through doing this, and that I've been inspired to do so through these past 2 years watching other people and other readers read for the collective. So thank you so much again, and I will end this reading. I promise I'll end it. Have a wonderful day. Have a safe and wonderful Valentine's Day. Bye, group 3.